Right, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, everybody. Here's an explanation about exercise 27, where they show you a plan of a construction of cubes. The number in each square shows how high the construction is there. And question A is to draw the front elevation and the side elevation. Now, first question is, of course, what is an elevation? An elevation is just how you see the building if you just stand in front of the construction. All right, let me just try to do exercise 27A, and let me just start with the front elevation. The front elevation is in front of the building. There you go. Yeah, you see the word front. And we're gonna start at the upper left one, and just to look at what is the highest number what we see. Now, the highest number is 4, so we're gonna make a building of 4 squares. So exercise A, a building of 4 squares. That's 1, that's 2, 3, and that's 4. I'm gonna erase this part. So there you go. Then the part on the right side of the building, on the first building, and the highest building of the highest cubes is 4. So again 4. There you go. And of course you need to use the protractor triangle and your pencil. Then the lines will be straight. Then in the middle row, the highest is 6, so just 2 squares higher. There you go. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next one, the highest one is 2, 1 and 2, and the last one is 3. There you go. So here you will find the front elevation. And in Dutch we say it is vooraanzicht. There you go. All right. There was another question with exercise A, because we need to draw the side elevation. All right, we're gonna start at the upper left construction. The highest building is 2 cubes. There you go, 2 cubes. In the middle, we see 6 cubes. So much higher building. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the last one has a height of 4 cubes. There you go. And this is your side elevation. And in Dutch we just said zij aanzicht. So that's in Dutch, and this is in English. Alright, so here you will find the elevation of the front side and even from the right side. Alright, let's just look at exercise B, because the question is how many cubes can you remove without changing any of the elevations. Now let me just start to make circles around the plan of which constructions are the highest buildings. So if we look at the front elevation, then we need to use this 4. That was the highest one. Then this 4. And the other one is a 6. Then we have 2, but we can choose between those 2 2s. So let me just leave that one, because maybe we need one of them with the side elevation. And the last one is 3. Alright, the side elevation, if we look at the upper left one, then we have the 2, the highest one. In the middle one, we already have the 6. And on the right side, we have the highest number 4. Alright, so we didn't choose any 2's. So now at last we can choose one of the 2 2's. Doesn't matter which one, because if you choose this 2, you will find it in the front elevation, but not with the side elevation, because the side elevation was the highest one, 4. If we choose the other 2, then you will find the 2 with the front elevation, but not with the side elevation, because the highest one was 6. Yeah, so I'm gonna choose this one in the middle of the side elevation. All right. Now we can't choose change the plan, so we always need to leave one cube. So we can subtract there. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna choose the green one there. 2 cubes. So that's 2. We can leave 1 cube over there, plus 1, and that's it, because the rest of the building is just already 1 cube. So exercise B, there you go, is 3 cubes. Alright, exercise C. C is a different one. How many cubes can you add without changing any of the elevations? Alright, so we can't change the elevation. Let me just look at the first one, this part. How many cubes can we add? Well, look at the first one. It has a height of 1 cube. So we need to add 3 extra cubes. Why? Because there we find a height of 4. And on the right side we also see a height of 4. So if we add 3 extra cubes at that one lonely cube, we do not change the front or even the side elevation. Alright, let me just look at this one. Because we can't add 3 extra. Why not? Because otherwise we will change the side elevation. And if we look at the side elevation, the highest building was 1. So we can only add 1 cube. Yeah, so be careful with that one. So do not add 3 extra, but just 1 is enough. Alright, the next one is that part. So we do not change the red circles, guys. Can we add 1 extra cube? Yes, we can. Just 1 extra. Why? Because the highest building there is 4, and the highest building on the right side was also 4. And what can we do with that square beneath? Now, it has already a height of 1. We can't add 3 extra cubes, because otherwise the side elevation will change, but just 1 extra is enough. Alright, we go on to the right. We do not change the 4 and the 6. We only change the 1. Why? Because the highest building at the front elevation is 6, but you can't add 5 extra, because otherwise the side elevation will change. So 1 is enough. Go on. There's a 2. But we already have a highest building of 2, so we do not change that 2, so just leave it. But if I look beneath with 1, we can add an extra cube, because if I add an extra cube, it will change in 2, so then the front or even the side elevation do not change. Now the last one, that's this one. The highest building and the front side is 3, so we can add 2, and that's possible. Why? Because if we add 2, then change in 3. The highest building at the front elevation was already 3, but the highest building on the side elevation was 4. Alright, I'm gonna add all those blue numbers together. Then you get 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2. And that will be together 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's 10 cubes. Here it is. So that's exercise C. And now the last question. The question is, how many cubes must you add to get a symmetrical front elevation? Now let me just look at the front elevation himself. Now where can we add 3 extra stones, 3 extra cubes? If I add 1 cube here, and even there, and even there, then it is a symmetrical shape. Alright, so I'm gonna add with the building of 2 extra, and the building of 3 1 extra, and then your front elevation is symmetrical. So yeah, it is just 3 cubes we need to add to create a symmetric shape. So that was exercise 27A, B, C, and D.